Hey, good morning, guys. How's everybody doing this morning? You guys ready to get a new day started here? And I am ready to get this week over and done with for sure. I am ready to move on. Not that it's been a bad week or because we've lost money. That's not the case. It's that we want to move on and start rolling these good trades out. All right. So let's look. Still pretty quiet. Still pretty quiet, but we're going to, really focus on the vetting process, the planning process, pretty much what we talked about in class yesterday. We're going to put it into action this morning. It's what I do every morning. There is a method to my madness. What we do. First thing I look at the stocks that hit my scan, the ORB scan that we talked about, and then we vet these. So, the first thing we want to look at is it going to meet our parameters? The price, float, the volume's going to be here. There's no doubt about the volume, but like I said, I do have lower price stocks that hit this. This scan runs from 0 to $150 in terms of price. But the stocks I like to work with are between $20 and $150. And then we narrow that down based on what our account size is at the time and all that good stuff. But it's going to give us stocks between 0 and $150. So CTRP, first thing I want to do, it looks okay. I need to look at what's the news on it. The first thing I do is, and the easiest thing is to pull up FinViz. Now I pull up FinViz and I just scroll down and look at, does FinViz have any news out? So this says C-Trip signs agreement with Japanese railway company. That probably is what got the bump. And I have to decide, hey, is this something worth trading? Is this catalyst going to be good enough for me to trade? And if I don't have any news here, then I'll look over here on this feed, and a lot of times people will post the news. Like right here, here's a news article as well, same as this one. But you may find other news articles. You may have things looking at it from a different perspective. And that's all I'm looking for. I'm not looking for people's opinions. I could care less what other people are thinking. I'm only looking for anybody that's posting news articles that's related to what I'm doing. That's the focus here. So we need to know what's going on with this stock. And let's take a look at the chart now. CTRP. Yeah, it looks pretty fractured. There's no smooth price action here. You know, you just had possibly one big candle that had a little bit of volume. This is not tradable price action. So we can drop that. That's not on the watch. All right, so BBBY, that's the next one that's up. Let's take a look at the news. Why is this thing moving? Let's see. Target names. Okay, this is Target. Loses top merchant to Bed Bath and Beyond. See, Bed Bath and Beyond has new CEO. And it's okay. So Bed Bath and Beyond hires a new CEO, previous Target executive. So that's what's causing this thing to bump. So pretty healthy gap up. We do have some decent windows. This will be a stock that we would probably trade 500 shares on. It's $11 stock, $12 stock. And because of that, we need to look at, do we have windows of opportunity here? Let's see, 13 is the 200, so we need to put that in there. You know, if it's a long play, that's what's going to come into play today. And like I said, gapped up, but that doesn't mean it's going to be a long. All right, just because it gapped up doesn't 100% say it's going to be a long trade today. So let's see, 13. All right, so do we have anything? Let's see, this is one of these stocks that has less than a 50-cent ATR, which typically puts this off my radar. You know, stock that has this small of an ATR typically goes off my radar. And you could see as we mark these levels how little room you would have. So if I'm looking to the long side, we've got 12.19, and then we've got 12. What's that? Like, I don't know what is this? 12.55. And then 13. So let's say we have average of 40-cent windows. So if you're going to trade 500 shares, it kind of makes sense if you're going to look for 40-cent windows. Because if you're in 500 shares for 40 cents, that's $200. If you take half off at 40 cents, that's $100. It's not bad looking at the profit, but the question is going to be the stop. So when we start looking at this closer to the open, we want to look at what's the average true range of the previous 6 stocks. All right, so what would be the average true range of the previous 6 candlesticks? And let's say, for the sake of argument, let's say the range is going to be, I'll just look at this one and we'll use whatever range this is on this candle. So 17 cents. So let's say 20 cents is the range. You want to give your stock at least 25 or 30 cents. All right, so it's looking for a 40 or 45 cent move. Does that make sense risking 25, 30 cents? It's just over 1 to 1. All right, so it can make sense, but we're actually looking for more than that. Scalpers, they'll look for 1 to 1 really quick. So all right, let me see. I can fix that. Hold on 1 second. Let's reboot it. We can reboot it. I'm not talking about the daily ATR. I'm talking about the ATR, the intraday ATR. The daily ATR is like between 47 and 50 cents. All right, how does it look now? So when we're day trading, we're not looking at, when we're looking at placing our stop on a day trade, we're not looking at the daily ATR. That's the average true range the stock moves in a day. When we're looking to place our stop in a day trade, we want to know what's the average of the stock is moving, per 5-minute candle, since that's what we're managing our risk on. We want to know what's the average 5-minute candle range, because we don't want to get in a trade and the normal volatility of the stock takes us out. So that's why it's important that we know what the average range is of the previous 6 candles. I look at the previous 30 minutes. What has the stock done in the previous 30 minutes? And that gives me an idea of the normal range of each candle, the average range of each candle. And you want to put your stop, your max loss stop needs to be outside of that. Your technical level needs to be outside of that. That's the key. Yeah, that's what I did. I've got it all squared away. I've got it to where it figures the ATR for each candlestick. Right here. If I was getting ready to go in this trade here yesterday, all I would do is just hover over this. This tells me the ATR was like 27 cents, so I could give it a max of 30 cents. But based on my position size would probably be 50 cents. But so I got a quicker way. This is as simple as it gets. I don't know how simpler that can be. Is it calculates everything for you. It's right there. I don't need to label it. It automatically figures it out. I don't have to label it. How do you get it for? All right. Let me bring the chart back up here. Oops, wrong chart on the wrong screen. All right, so all you have to do is edit the study. Hey, this is easy for me. Edit studies. All right, so we've got the ATR right here. All you do is it's on a 5-minute chart, so automatically it's gonna factor in for the 5-minute bars. So all you do is change this number from 14, because 14 is a default. I change it to 6 because it's gonna measure the previous 6 candles. So it's gonna give me the average ATR for the 5-minute candles over the last 6. And then I change it to where it just plots it in a bar. So anytime I want to know what it is, all I do is place my cursor over the bar and it tells me the ATR right here. And I could quickly determine where my stop's going to be. I mean, that's the way it works with Thinkorswim. So, and that's my process. You could do it any way you want to, but for me and the way I think and the way I trade, that's the easiest way to determine the ATR. Let's see. So we'll see. This may be coming down. This may be rolling back over. We'll see. But we definitely have bigger windows to the downside. And so, let's see, 1019. We definitely have bigger windows to the downside. And so I would be more interested in shorting this versus going long. This is $9.99. $9.99. So I know BBBY, this is under $10 now, but it will still make my watch. Wait a minute. Why? How did my volume go up? I'm sitting here. I'm sitting here listening to my feedback. It's crazy. And then 952 for the 50. $9.52. Wait a minute, that looks off. 937. How did I get 952? All right, that looks more better. All right, so this one should be at 913. And so remember, we'll come back to these closer to the open, and that'll determine whether this thing is worth me paying attention to or not. All right, then we've got RARX. All right. All righty then. All right, so hold on. I'm going to show you how a quick way to do the ATR on the DOS chart too. I'll show you how to do the DOS chart. So we should have enough time here to where you get a number. We should have enough time. Investigate. Let's see. All right, that's supposed to be a buyout. Or so remember, this is why we don't trade buyouts. This is why I said, if you remember in the class yesterday, I said no buyouts. And this is why. So we've got one stock on earnings that has some volume. DAL. This didn't hit the scan because of the float. It's over a 500 million share float. It's only 600 and some million shares, so it is in my wheelhouse. It's just not the perfect stock. So you can see we got down on earnings. This will probably be my front runner in terms of watches, because this is in my wheelhouse. So I'm going around looking for the areas where the stock changed direction. Those are my pivot points. Simple and easy, and it's clear that these stocks react to this. We prove it every day, over and over and over again, that, damn man, what is it? Oh, I forgot. Whenever I do a live stream, this thing gets a little bit too jumpy. I can't move it but so fast. All right, there we go. So we do have some nice windows right now. Again, we just have to wait until the market opens or get closer to the open so we could start looking at our plans and what we're going to do. So of course this one, we look at our ORB scan, then we go over here and we start looking at earnings. DAL was the only one on the list that we would actually be looking at. I showed you guys that calendar yesterday. So we've got some good volume already in it, a decent gap. So this should be in play. So this will be, and this is my favorite catalyst. So obviously this is going to be my number one watch. I use Trade Ideas. That's the scanner that I use. So we've got two stocks, BBBY. Damn, I typed in BBBT. I'd have really had y'all messed up then. And DAL. So I've got those two that I'm gonna have on watch right now. CTRP is on a chart montage here that I have, but maybe for a secondary trade, I don't know. It's not something I want to put on my primary watch. But because I only have two stocks on watch, I don't have anything to take its place. So it's kind of stuck there right now. But like I said, that one doesn't have any price action. It just kind of gapped to a price, and then it just is stuck there. All right, so that's where we're at right now. So let me bring up a chart here. All right, so here's a DOS chart. what I like to do, you know how on Thinkorswim I have the ATR on the bottom, and all I do is just put my cursor over it, and it tells me what the ATR is. Now, say you don't have Thinkorswim. Let's say you have DOS. So what we'll do is go to Study Configuration. Then we'll add Study. Let's find it. ATR. And then we'll configure it, because we want to change it from 14 to 6. Why is it going up? Because I want the previous 6 bars. The line color, you want to do it black. You don't want to put another line in here. All right, and you'll see why. You just make it black so that you can't see the line, because we're not going to be looking at the line. To get the ATR, all you do is left click on it. Put your cursor over the candle, left click on it. You see down here at the bottom, average true range, 12 cents. So that's measuring the previous 6 candles. All you do is hover over it, click on it, average true range right there. It also gives you the volume of the candle, the open, the high, the low, you know, when you left click on it. But the main thing is the average true range is down there at the bottom. It even gives you the VWAP. You know, but again, you want to make it black so you don't have another line on your chart. You don't need that. So that's how you do it with DOS. And see, a lot of people have it confused. They try to make their stop. When you're day trading, they try to use the daily ATR for their stop, and you can't do that. You have to use what's happening that day. In that moment, that's what you have to use. Now, if you're swing trading, that's different. You're trading off a daily chart. Yeah, then you use the daily ATR. But we're trading off an intraday chart, and whatever chart you're trading off of, that's the data that you have to use. You got to keep it simple and focused. If you're trying to follow 2 and 3 different people and how they do it, you're going to get confused, and you're going to be giving money back left and right. And my whole thing is trying to get you to be consistent in what you do. And just because somebody says, hey, I've got a better idea, no. If you want to try it in the simulator, try it after hours, do some back testing, but do not change what you do. If you do, you'll start to go backwards. I learned that the hard way. So once you get something that works and you're comfortable with it and you're consistently making money, the hell with what other people do. The hell with what other people say. Because the main goal here is for you to be consistently profitable and continue to put money in your account. And if you do that, you're going to see ways, based on the strategies that you trade, how to be more efficient in your trading. It's going to come to you if you continue to do the work, if you continue to do your reflections every night. look over your chart, analyze it. You're going to see ways to maximize the efficiency of your trades. And like what was that? I forgot the ticker yesterday. All day long, maximize the complete move of that chart. Yeah, QGen. All day long. That's the goal here. Get locked in on the stock, maximize it. It's not chasing stocks all day. It's not trying to chase the stock that's moving. That's not consistent, and that's not a process that's going to translate into consistent trading success. Yeah, Roku was another one. Roku yesterday was another one. It trended up all day. You could have maximized the potential. Basically, it trended up all the way up until lunchtime. And then on the pullback and bounce, you could have got back in. Now, it didn't really go that much higher, but you would have maximized the efficiency of that move. You would have squeezed every bit of blood out of that turnip. And you're not trying to hit tops, and you're not trying to hit bottoms. You're trading the meat of the move. And there's nothing more safer than that. Will you win every time? No. You're not going to win every time. But it's going to be less risk. Your exposure to the market is going to be less, which is going to translate into consistency. Dot, you need to see the dots again. All right, so you're going to go to study configuration, but you need to click on study configuration in the upper versus the lower because it's quicker. You can do it in the lower, but since this is the price action that we're watching, it's easier to do it in the upper. So you're going to do study configuration, and then you're going to go down to ATR and choose it and select, and it's going to put it over here. And then you're going to click configure here. And that's where you're going to change this number to 6 and the line color to black so that it doesn't put a line on your chart. Now, if you have a white chart, then yeah, you got to change the line. You want to change the line to whatever color chart you have. Some people like white chart background. Some people have gray. But whatever color it is, you want to change that line unless you just want an extra line on your chart. And for me, I just don't want extra lines on my chart. All right, you got it? Both are equally important. Moving averages and daily levels are equally important. What makes them more I can't think of the word I'm looking for. But what you have to do is every time a stock gets to a daily level or a moving average, you're observing the price action, because each one of those places represents a supply zone where you're running into a supply of buyers and sellers. And you really don't know, do you have more buyers here than sellers? You don't know that. So you kind of have to wait. So like, let's just take this chart, this up here. You can see where we bounced into the 9. Obviously, the 9 was a pretty big supply zone, because look at what happened to the price action here. Pretty significant supply zone. And it had to chew through all of those sellers that were there before it continued up. Because you can see we had a bounce, a strong candle right into this 9. And the momentum stopped. Because this was a nice supply zone full of sellers. I don't know why it wouldn't show. It's not showing on yours. Because all you do is put it over the candlestick and right click it. And you could see it very clearly at the bottom of this rectangle here. And as you take it from candle to candle, the numbers are going to change. Sometimes I do trade recaps as part of the class, so I don't put them on YouTube. But we just haven't had many trades on YouTube. I mean, many trades. There have been several days where I didn't take any trades at all. The last couple of weeks have been really slow. I can count 5 or 6 days right offhand that I didn't take any trades at all. And one day this week I didn't take any trades. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what your issue is without actually looking at it. But it's just a simple, you got to right click it. You right click it, go to study configuration, and then you find ATR over here. I think I might have gone past it. Hold on. You find ATR over here, highlight it, select it. It's going to come up over here. Then you right click that. Then you click configure down here and configure it. So I'm not sure why you're not seeing it right there. When you click on the candle, I'm not sure why you're not seeing it there. I don't know of any other thing you could do. But one thing you'll learn as a new trader, as you get experience, is that there are days where you just don't trade. If your strategy, if the market is not conducive to you trading your strategy, then you sit on your hands. You don't go chasing other stuff. Just because another stock is moving, you don't go chasing it. If you get into that habit, you're going to go broke quick. Some people think you need to have all of these strategies that you need to know how to trade. You have to be a master of the strategies that you're the best at. And there are days that we can make money when the market is slow. You don't know what can happen. Anything can happen. So you got to pick your spot and stay in it. Choose your lane and stay in it and master your lane. And as you get better, as you master your lane, as you continue to grow, you're going to be able to make money, more money trading your strategy because you're going to develop it. It's going to get better. You're going to be more efficient at it. And then, yeah, you can add, for me, swing trading typically makes up for the bad day trading times. But don't go chasing. On the 200 at 13 is over a point away. Yeah, you don't have to reserve shares to short. Usually you reserve shares when you think a stock's gonna run out. That's when you reserve shares. Oh, I never did bring this up today. All right, so let's get locked in. Gotta see what kind of day we're gonna have today. All right, let's get ready to rock and roll here. Let's get the desktop fired up. Hopefully we won't have any issues out of it today. My main, my main strategy at the open is an ORB, and then I move into trend continuation. So those two work hand in hand. But my first, no, it looks like this thing is going to be shit again. I don't want to have to buy a new computer just because I'm going to have to take this thing to the Geek Squad and let them clean it for me. Because this thing, the new computers aren't any more powerful than this one. No, we should not, because if we have an opening range trade, it's usually done by 10 o'clock. So we shouldn't have to worry about it. All right, I'm gonna kill screen share here and then try it this way. I don't know why everything is starting to have a conflict now all of a sudden. All of a sudden, I have nothing but conflict. You're funny as hell. Oh my God, man. I can't get my full desktop to load for nothing. Look at BBBY is taking off before the open. Okay, I'm about had it with this piece of garbage here. I don't know why it won't load my whole desktop where it's supposed to. But every day something is in conflict with just more and more conflict. But it was funny, if I didn't log into the desktop, if I just had it in the default setting, it worked fine. But when I loaded my desktop, we started having all kind of issues. So yeah, I may need to wipe some stuff off. All right, so this is a daily level here. Daily level here. Here is a pre-market high. Which is critical to us. Here's another daily level. So we're kind of right in this I can't really put all the levels that's in play right here. But I guess I want it short, but it may not do that today. I want it to come back. That's what I want to see it do. All right, then we've got DAL. That's the other one on our watch. 51.76. We got that level. And we got 50.95. And here is the pre-market low that we would be concerned about. All right, so let's sit back and watch and see what this thing is going to bring us today. All right, so we're looking for either one of these to break. So here we just broke the pre-market low here. So I'm going to be moving this around. Depending on where this goes. So you can't let the jumpiness of the candles or the and all of that influence you, get you excited. You got to stick to your all right, so we put in a 2-minute low, a 3-minute low, which so far is holding up. Oh man. It's broken down. So let's see what this thing is going to do. I mean, yeah, you kind of want to jump in early, but you can't do that. Can't roll the dice here. So now we've got the 5-minute opening range set. So now we have to sit back and wait. All right. So we're going to get in on the break here. See if we're going to hold below this. So 50.95 is the next level I'm looking at.
BBBY.
You know, we're having a little trouble here. And so remember to stop on this. We're in a 5-minute opening range low strategy. The stop on this is a candle to close above. If we can't close below the 5-minute opening range low, and then we get another candle to make a new high, then this trade is done. You know, our strategy, our setup has failed, and we just have to wait and see if it's going to set up again. So once we get in the trade, there's nothing we can do but sit back and wait for it to either work or not work.
BBBY.
This thing is trading like a stock on SSR. It's trading like a stock on freaking SSSR. All right, so this trade is pretty much dead. It's dead. So we couldn't hold below the opening range. BBBY same way. Garbage. But it had that 1255 level up there. So it may still work. It may still work, but just got to wait and see if it comes back and gives us a trade opportunity. But the volatility, it spiked me out. We couldn't close below we couldn't close below the 5-minute opening range low. And we got to bounce all the way back up. So I had to respect that. No, I wouldn't have held through it unless I had already taken profit. If I'd already taken profit, then yeah, it'd be a different story. This sucks, man. Heartbreaker. Heartbreaker. And see, this is how easy this strategy is to execute. It either works or it doesn't. There are going to be some days it doesn't work, and there are going to be more days that it does work. So if you are consistent with your execution, at the end of the week, at the end of the month, you're going to come out on top. But if you sit here and fight it and make it go down because it should go down, trying to make it go down because you think it should go down, that's when we get into trouble. And you can't worry about being right or wrong, because there's no right or wrong. The setup triggered, we entered, it didn't work. So we get out. The only time you're going to be wrong is if you hold on to it and you don't stick to your plan. When that happens, you're wrong. The 5-minute candle, this candle, the candle that we entered on, did not close below the opening range low. It closed above it. This candle opened, pushed above it, made a higher high. That's the signal that the opening range trade is dead. That's what I explained ahead of time. That is key. This is the key to placing your stop correctly. Is you have to use the technical level that you based your trade off of. If technically that trade is dead, now what trade is in play now still? The trend continuation. Here's the overall trend. The overall trend is still in play, but that wasn't what we were trading. We were trading the opening range. The opening range trade is dead. So then it falls into our second strategy, which is the trend continuation. I just explained it. Explained it in detail. Where the stop would have been. Shit, now I missed my entry. Damn it. I missed my re-entry on this. Damn it, the hell. I missed my re-entry. Ugh. But I'm going to have to wait until after the conference call. It's too close to the conference call to get in. I'm going to have to wait. Gonna have to wait. I would get it. Ordinarily, I would be in right now. I'm not sure. I gotta wait. Gotta be disciplined here and wait. It's hard to be disciplined if you take a loss, even though this is not a really big loss. Any type of loss, it makes you want to get it back really quick. And you gotta, if the situation is not ideal, even if it works, you don't want to fall into that trap. That's what saved me and has kept me consistent all these years, is not falling into these traps. And when I do, get myself out of them as quickly as possible. You don't know that for sure. You gotta stop anticipating and thinking that a stock is gonna do this just because. You can't. When you do that, that's when you get yourself in trouble. You trade whatever direction the stock is gonna go. You trade what the market tells you it's doing. You have no clue what these big guys are gonna do. Are they going to buy it up? Are they going to sell it off? Who knows? What is wrong? What is wrong with my internet, man? This is 2 days in a row.
SMH.
This is 2 days in a row I've had to deal with this crap. Yes, I have Spectrum.
WBA.
Hey, the point I'm trying to make is it doesn't matter what the earnings say. Nobody cares what the earnings says. It's how the market interprets it. Too many times we've seen stocks that's beat on earnings, beat on revenue, but tank because the guidance is bad. Or the numbers were based on something that was temporary. So you can't use that and come up and say, okay, this is what's going to happen. That's not the way the market works.
CVS.
You gotta let the market tell you. You gotta become a market whisperer and let it tell you what it's gonna do. Because it's gonna tell you what's gonna happen.
CDS. WBA. BBBY.
Now it looks like BBBY was the trade. You see why? You don't know what's gonna happen going into the conference call, so you gotta wait. You gotta wait and gotta be patient, and you gotta let the market tell you what's gonna happen. And there's a level here. I can mark it now. Come on, Slowpoke Rodriguez. $50.95.
CDS. WBA. SMH.
So the conference call hasn't even started and you got people dumping. You got people dumping and anticipating.
SMH.
Bring, bring, bring. It could be. It could be. Oh, so let me go back. I need to answer this question. The stop on BBBY or DAL, any one of those, the stop is always going to be a breach of the opening range level, whether it be the high or the low. In this case, this candle never did close below the 5-minute opening range low. It never closed below it. It closed above it. This candle opened and pushed above it, which told me the 5-minute opening range low setup is dead. No, that trade plan is dead. Now, the next setup we would look for would be the trend continuation. And that's based on this overall trend here. Now, if this candle, if the price action breaks this high, it pretty much kills that idea. Now, what the issue is with these stocks that have a conference call after the open, that adds a whole new wrinkle into this trading deal, because then you're going to have people that's anticipating. Excuse me. You're going to have people anticipating moves and jumping in. And so that's going to give you erratic price action. That's why if you're not already in a trade and have taken profit, you probably want to bail going into a conference call. And you want to give it 15, 20 minutes into that call before you start looking to take a trade.
BBBY.
On BBBY, depends on how far. I probably wouldn't have stopped out because this was like 10 or 15 cents. And you had the support up under here. So my son's trading BBBY, so I'm going to see what he did here later on. I think he's got his personal finance teacher hooked. That dude is hooked on day trading. They can't even do class because he's got my son up there with him teaching them how to day trade. But he texted me and told me they were in BBBY. But no, you could see, remember yesterday I was telling you about how close this would be? DAL was right on the outskirts of it. It was just too far. Here is really close. 10, 15 cents, you got to give it. With support being that close, you got to give it a shot. Yeah, that guy's hilarious. He's like, if I could give your son an A in every class, I would do that.
SMH.
But it is part of the class. Like when I was teaching, I made trading a part of the class. Every morning we looked at all of the tickers that were related to the automotive industry. That was it. I like on BY, I'm expecting a big volume spike driving it into 13 into the daily 200. That's what I was expecting. A big volume spike coming out of nowhere, driving it into the 200. But it couldn't crack 1275. It could not crack that $250 mark. So if it cracks that $250 mark, look for a big volume candle driving it into 13 before it reverses. But 1275 level is the key. That's the keys to the kingdom right there. Oh, let me get back to my pal DAL. Back to my pal.
TG.
Yeah, you got it.
TG.
And you really got to ignore everything that people says and just watch the price action. That's it. I learned that the hard way. I learned it the hard way. But you know, when I finally understood what makes the market move, everything became so much clearer. And what I needed to pay attention to and the garbage I didn't need to pay attention to. And that's how I was able to tell from all of the people that were on YouTube, that's how I was able to tell who was actually trading for real and knew what they were doing and who was just trying to market stuff and make money off the industry. They like to make money off our greed. But right now, I don't see much. I tell you, Roku, that damn thing ran up to what, 121, almost 122. But it's sold back off since then. I scratched on Roku yesterday. All right, so we're just in a waiting mode right now. We're just sitting and chilling in a waiting mode.
SDC.
See what this thing is gonna do. This is the boring part of day trading.
Dow.
And BBBY rolled all the way over to. It rolled all the way over to the 20, and it still looks like it's going. I'm surprised we're not getting any more movement one way or the other out of this DAL. I'm beginning to think this is going to be flat. What is Duke? Excuse me. Yeah, they better make it positive. As hard as DAL sold off, they better make it positive. But the question is anybody gonna buy it? Is anybody gonna buy the positive news? You know, sometimes this is the hardest thing to deal with. Sitting here, we're sitting here waiting for the market to do something. Especially if you're sitting on a loss, you want to make that money back, and you know it can cause you to make some pretty bad decisions. So if you're thinking that way, don't trade. All right, so you can see BBBY, pretty hard rejection here. Never did get to never did get to 13. Never did get to the daily 20. But there's no trading in through here. Look at all of the garbage. There's just no trading in through there. All of these supply zones, you got an abundance of buyers and sellers sitting around these levels. You don't know what's going to happen yet. But I guess the good thing is we got to see exactly how to handle an opening range trade that doesn't work. You know, how you need to handle it. And the things that you got to look out for so that you don't get sucked into it again.
SDC.
Man, we just don't have anything kicking today. Nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. Yeah, I know. That's why I thought BBBY was gonna sell off because who gives a crap about a new CEO? That's not gonna automatically make a company profitable. He may get in there and say, "Oh man, you guys are screwed up. I'm getting the hell out of here now." And he may bail in a couple of months. You just don't know. Man, All right, looks like looks like this BBBY is trying to set up here.
LYFT. Oh, nice jump there. LYFT.
No, the October password should still be the same. I didn't change the October password. Which specific video are you trying to watch? Maybe that one didn't get, maybe when we changed it, maybe that one just kind of got skipped over for some reason. This BBBY needs some more volume. It needs some more volume. It just doesn't have any volume, man. It needs some people to come in that believes in it. I don't believe in it, so. See, 1255 is the next level up here. All right, I'll check it out and get back to you. Let me pull it up here now, since I'm not trading anything. Thanks to the damn market. I don't have have anything to trade, I will look at the videos. Let's see, member videos. Third swing trading video. You're right. This one did not get changed for some reason. All right, so I got it fixed. For some reason, every time I do the change, there's one video that it doesn't reach. For some reason, but got it fixed, so you get to go. DAL is off my radar. I don't think it has enough volatility to do anything. So off the radar. I had to make an executive decision here. The windows are too tight. The volatility is too low. My shoes on too tight. My underwear is bunched up, so can't do anything right now. I'm just in a bad spot. Excuse me. Come on, market guys. I need a trade. Send me a trade. Send me something. I'm going to cut the news on here. Got to do something.
SWKS.
I'm expecting this BBBY to reject at this 1255 level. But if it goes up and makes a new high, that will be even. more impressive considering the day that we are having. So 1274 is high day, but it just looks like it's struggling. The lower deviation band is not opened up, so we just don't have anything going. I don't know. There was just too much. Excuse me. There was just too much resistance this would run into for me to buy it. You know, you'd be scalping moves in between these moving averages, and that's not what I wanted to do. And I just don't feel like it has the momentum, the drive, the volatility, the interest to run it all the way back up. Like, we get through the 50, we'll probably run to the 200. So, you know, this is, what, maybe 40 cents or so, or 50 cents. We may get between 40 and 50 cents. I would need more than that. Gotta have more. I got to have more. But this was, I mean, we kind of figured that it would be a slow day. Looking at the earnings calendar, we only had one stock going. If this stock really had traded outside of itself, we probably would have got a good move. DAL just didn't work out.
SWK.
But it's good because you get to see how to manage stocks that don't work. You don't sit, if you sit here and hold it, you see what happens. If you try to force moves on the market, you see what happens. If it's not your day, not your morning, you shut it down. I can't tell you how many times the morning has been like this, and then we come back in the afternoon and I can make $300-400. You just don't know. So it's just a matter of waiting, you know, letting the market do its thing. So when I go to lunch, come back, you know, we may have something to crow about here. We'll see a little bit more than just chickens scratching around the yard. Because right now, that's all I see.
DB, Deutsche Bank. U.S. Appeals Court says Deutsche Bank informed it in letter that it does not have President Trump's tax returns. That's from Reuters. That's Delta Bravo.
I want money, lots and lots of money. I want the pot. I can't play the song because I'll get dinged with a copyright thing. We usually play the song in chat because it's not being broadcast. No, I don't trade bank stocks, and that's exactly why. They are highly manipulated. Have you watched? I'm sure you watched the that movie, The Big Short. And that practically proves how manipulated these freaking banks are, how sketchy they are. Saves me a couple of bucks. Yeah, that'll be interesting. That'll be an interesting read. If people really knew what banks did, they would never put their money in it. Oh, I can look at it right here. Shit, I can't fucking see it. Piece of fucking shit. Kills me every time. Mm-mm-mm-mm. No, I don't see I don't see it doing that. I mean, it can, but I just don't see it. The market is just not good today. Look at the SPY. Tells you everything you need to know. Look at that. We have died. We're in that channel. Look at the volume. No trades, man. That's why I didn't trust BBBY. Look at it. Now we got to make a lower low. But it's probably, with this lack of volume, it's probably going to stay around here. I don't know how much of a lower low it's going to make. And it's probably going to hold a 50. So, and it's like, just like what I said, you can't force any trades. When the stock changes direction, and especially if it's in this huge area of supply zones here, you're surrounded by supply zones. You don't trade that. You may get lucky and pick it going the right way, but you just don't trade that. Look at DAL. Look at where it's at. It's still stuck in a rut. It hasn't gone anywhere. You know, you don't want to trade this stuff. Just because you're here, just because the market's open, just because it's moving a little bit, does not mean open season on trading. It's not. You got to be smart. Professional traders recognize this, and they don't go out looking for other things to trade. You know, they shut it down for the day. They know that tomorrow may be their day, the next day, or the next week. And they're staying positive. They're not going red. They're staying green. I don't I don't stop trading once I'm up. I don't look at my P&L. You know, the only time I stop trading, if I take 2 or 3 losses in a row, I stop. But I don't look at my P&L to determine when I stop trading. The market tells me when it's time to stop. Now, when you're just starting out and you're learning one strategy, you know, yeah, you're going to be limited. But once you get going and once you have the opening range strategy, you have the trend continuation and reversal, you could trade all day. You just have to make sure that you're patient and allow your setups to mature. Well, the SPY made a new high for the day. Let's see, did it do it on volume? Or did it peak its way up? Yeah, it just peaked its way up. We'll see if it gets some volume on this candle. But we're at the end of the day. We're at the end of the candle, so. But if you get some volume on this and a break, that will be nice. But you don't have to trade the whole move. If you don't want to trade it and you're not comfortable, then don't, by all means, don't do it. Now we got the SPY finally broke out of that channel. Let's see if it can hold it. This still isn't a good volume. This isn't the best of volume bars here. So what you want to see some higher volume come in following it up, driving this market up. That's what you really want to see. Any day now. Just wait. Be patient. I may need to add, thinking about adding to NKE today. All right, guys. So this morning was really slow. We thought there may be a little bit of action, but it really wasn't. Not a whole lot went on. DAL just never gave us a follow-through move either way. BBBY did okay, but it was not, didn't really give the windows of opportunity I wanted to see. I wanted to see it sell off, but it didn't. You know, it did what it was going to do. But I think the best thing and the best lesson from today was kind of reiterating what we talked about in class yesterday, is about the stops. You know, the opening range stop by nature is going to be a little bit tighter because it's a technical deal. The trend continuation trades are going to be a little wider because we're playing the overall trend. But as we get into the trend continuation strategy, now that's the next strategy we'll get into here. You're going to see a difference in where we place the stop and how we manage it. So you'll see the difference there. But today was just one of those days. I was talking about NKE, the swing trade, NKE. But this is gonna do it for me this morning. I'll come back this afternoon. We'll see. I'll be looking in the afternoon to see if there's anything giving us any opportunities, anything like that. But right now, this is not the ideal market, not the ideal scenario. It will be good next week. It will be better next week. And the problem you're going to have next week is trying to pick a stock to trade. There's going to be so many, it's going to be hard to
SDC,
choose or focus
Small
on one.
Club, November $10 call sweep active now. Sandy Delta Charlie.
Yeah, so that's what's going to be tough going forward.
GRVY, Gravity shares moving here on small volume, up 4% now, $34. Golf Romeo Victor Yankee. QGEN, Kiajin, more call activity, May 30 call. Quebec Golf Echo November.
All right, guys. So I'm heading to lunch. It's that 11 o'clock hour. So you guys, thank you for hanging out here on YouTube. It was a really, really slow morning, but hopefully you see how I manage slow mornings and how I manage when I don't have a winning trade. The trade doesn't work. How we get out of it. We don't fuss and get pissed off and try to overtrade and revenge trade. We still sit back. We still wait for the market to give us opportunities. If it doesn't, then we walk away, go to lunch, and we come back. No, I don't live stream after lunch. I just do it in the morning because that's usually when it's the most active. And I'm trading the classes that I shared on YouTube. It's the opening range. So that's kind of what I stick to. In the afternoons, we trade the trend continuation. We trade reversals and stuff like that. But it's the reason why I am where I am right now. It's the reason why I was able to get to this point. It's just being patient and waiting and allowing the market to come to me. Now, yeah, I get upset sometimes. Yeah, I make mistakes. But I'm able to realize it real quick, reel it back in, do the things I need to do to get back focused. And that's what the guys in the chat see every day. When I make a mistake, when I do something stupid, how I react to it, how I bring it back around. And that's why I feel it's important. You guys see everything. That you see everything that happens, not just the good things and not just snippets of the good things that happen. It's everything that I have to go through on a given day. and then how I have to rectify it going forward. So yeah, I'm streaming live in the chat room all day long. I'm streaming and trading live in chat all day long. I just pick a couple of days a month to do it on YouTube so you guys can see what's going on. You know, I don't overcharge people,
Boeing
so
says
I don't
airlines
have
completed 810
a cushion
inspections
to offer free
737
access. You know,
and
basically, I would have to
requirements that
overcharge the
require
people that
repair and
sign up
replacement of effective parts that
for.
travel-
Let me stop this. I would have to overcharge the people that sign up so that I could pay for guys to come in and spend free. And this doesn't make sense to me. So I'll stream here live on YouTube from time to time. So just make sure you are subscribed so you know when I go live. I'm trying to do it once a week, either Tuesday or Thursday. I'm trying to figure out what the best day is, but I try to do it once a week. That's the goal anyway. Yeah, gotta be the same. You gotta stay consistent. That's how you make money in this industry. You gotta stay consistent. All right, you're welcome. And until next time, you know, if I do take a trade later on today, you know, we'll be doing a recap. But if I don't, then this morning we'll stand. You'll have a live recap of the trade that happened. So you guys have a great rest of the day. And if you have any questions, just email me, you know, ed@AverageJoeTrader.com. And I will see you guys the next time.